guys, how's it going? So it's a beautiful afternoon, 54 degrees right now. It's supposed to reach 70 today. So Benjamin and I are out just working on stuff. I don't even know exactly what we're going to tackle or how much we're going to be able to tackle today. We're going to start by shearing back those Serbian spruce lollipops near the chicken coop. I was going to plant those containers up and not even film it because I just have kind of normal spring stuff, pansies and stuff, and there's only so much of that, those types of plants I want to film because I've already done so many spring planters, it feels like. Anyway, but I thought you guys might like to see what I'm dealing with on those lollipop spruces because I think they're gonna be fine. So we'll go take a look at those first, and then I've got a tater tot arborvitae by our back shade porch that I want to transplant to a different location in our garden. And then we'll see what else we can get to. Russell's going night-night. He's sleeping on the grass. See him? I do. Russell, are you sleeping on the grass? So here are the plants we have to work with today. In fact, most of these I picked up at the garden center when we went down to see the new loads, except I did get a few more packs of chard and some bull's blood beets. You know, I think these containers may not be completely normal because I am putting some edibles in with my pansies and primrose. So it might turn out being really cute. Who knows? All right, Benjamin, I'm gonna drive over to the coop. Do you wanna ride in the gator? Or do you wanna stay over here with Russell? Are you trying to race me? Where are you going? Oh, I'll race you. You're so fast though, buddy. Mama's out of shape.
You go hide.
Okay, but no peeking. You always peek, so no peeking, okay? Okay, you count to 10 and no peeking. Oh, Benjamin, look. Look at these iris. Oh, look at how pretty. Those are beautiful.
What are those for?
Those are flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, I just love it when these are blooming. I hadn't seen them before today. So at the chicken coop here, we've got 3 containers, 1 window box and 2 containers, I guess technically. We've got the 2 with the lollipops that flank the whole coop. And then I did clean this window box out recently, and I kind of mentioned how I maybe want something black and wood. I got online and didn't really find anything that spoke to me, so I just decided to pick up a cocoa fiber liner, just a fresh one. And I've always liked these hay rack kind of style, so we'll just go with this for a while until I find something I like a little bit better. But this is what I've got going on with these spruces. See all of this death on the ends, but it looks really good on the interior. Like each stem, when you follow it back, looks just totally fine. And I'm wondering if they dried out too much this winter. I mean, they look just dry as a bone right now. Well, maybe not so much underneath, but they may have dried out a bit too much and then succumbed to some wind. I'm not really sure what's going on here. So we'll be really monitoring the water levels on these and just keeping a close eye on them. So today I kind of want to shear off all this dead stuff, which might look a little bit funny, but I think in the end it'll make them happier. So I just wanted to show you guys the before and then what they look like after we get done with our chore today on them, and then we'll be able to update them later on and see if we did something good for them. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my snips here. These are the 322s, I think. I've been loving them, but I might graduate to hedge trimmers if it proves to be like too much time intensive. You are a good helper, Benjamin. So basically, just let me show you a close-up before I just set the camera up. I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna do kind of one of these numbers on it, almost like I'm trimming a hedge, and try to trim off as much of that dead stuff as possible. I don't know how far I'm gonna have to go in. Hopefully I can get it pretty even. I don't think I'll be able to get 100% of it, but you can see right there what I'm left with. Oh, you found some strawberries. Good job, Bebby. Anyways, that's kind of the general flavor of what I'm gonna be doing. Hopefully they look really good in the end. They gotta look better than they look right now. That looks pretty bad. All right, so here we go. Well, that looks a lot better. Oh my goodness. Well, I could fuss with that shape for a very long time, but it's pretty good, I think. And it just looks so much better than having all of that dead growth on there. I was getting tired of looking at that. Probably should have put a drop cloth down because now I got quite the prickly mess to clean up, but that's okay. I'm just so thrilled. So now let's take a closer look at this one, because I think this one might be worse. Look at that. Oh. It is just so bad.
I'm coming.
You can go in there if you want.
I'm coming.
Just don't let the chickens out, okay? Do you want to give them some greens? Here, you go in there and I'll go get you some greens to give them, okay? You want to give that to the chickens? Oh yeah, toss it at them. Sweet. They don't care.
And I want some candy for them. I also want some treats for them.
Some treats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go in.
The rain here. Okay, come here.
There's Poop Butt Patty rolling around with always a messy bum. Always. Doesn't matter how many times you clean it. One last handful. Good job. Yeah, we'll come give them some more tomorrow. All right, so let's take after this one. Super pleased with that. I thought I was going to have to take off a lot more than I actually did. A little bit more than the other one for sure, because I got to looking at the shape from the side and there was quite a sunken area. You can still kind of see it. And I could still keep trimming more and more off, but honestly I think I just cut off enough to stimulate some really nice new growth. So it should start growing and filling back in. In fact, if you take a close look, you can see a bunch of new growth. A bunch of soft, nice fresh looking growth in there. I did put down some frost protection cloth, which works as a nice drop cloth. It's what I had close at hand in the barn. So now I'm gonna spray both of them with the Wilt Stop. This helps reduce moisture loss after you're done trimming. In fact, I think we're gonna spray all of our boxwoods when we get done hedging those this spring, because it gets hot so fast and we deal with so much wind that it's nice to have some way to prevent any extra like tip dieback or browning. We've been using this on the greens we put in containers for the holidays and garlands and wreaths for a lot of years now, and it works really well. It's just a pine resin. It smells kind of good, but it just provides a nice coating over those fresh cut edges. All right, so now I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna start to plant. I'm excited to see some color up here. All planted and watered in. They look pretty simple right now, but I think if we just give it a couple of weeks, they're just gonna be so sweet. I ringed the bottom of the lollipop with the Swiss chard, which if you've ever grown Swiss chard, it can get quite large, but we're only gonna have it in these containers for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So I think it won't have enough time to get massive. We'll see, but I think it'll add a really, really cool texture and color to this container, and so inexpensive. I mean, just a couple of bucks for a 4-pack, and I used 2 4-packs in there, and that's a wonderful filler plant. And then I just ringed the edge or the outside of the pot with pansies, which will fill in and be full of color. So the chickens will be really happy with the chard in the end, because they'll probably get to eat it. I'm not a huge fan of chard myself. And there's that one right there, just mirrors the other one. And then the window box is really sweet, so I ended up putting Swiss chard in the back. So right now it doesn't look like it has a centerpiece, but it will very, very soon. So we've got 3 little bunches of those, and then I put some bull's blood beets in there, which I think that color against this bright pink is really pretty. So we'll have tall Swiss chard, and then the beet greens will fill in kind of right below the chard. Then we'll have our primrose layer, and then I planted a few Fort Laramie strawberries, just as kind of a sweet filler around the edge. Can you imagine little red berries dangling? They won't last long, you guys know with Benjamin. He'll be along really shortly after they start to ripen, and he'll probably clean them up, but I think it's a cute look. Okay, so this project is done. Now I want to go tackle that tater tot arborvitae. So this is the tater tot in question right there. I used to have 2. I used to have one on the other side of the sidewalk, but it's kind of strange how much different, like this side gets so much more sun than this side does because of this maple tree right here. Just the positioning of everything is just such that that one was kind of languishing, and then it got nailed by a bunch of snow and it kind of flopped over. Anyway, so I don't think I even had one. Did I have one there all of last year? I just had this one random one there. I think my thought was that I would eventually dig this one out and pop it up over here, but I think what I want to do is just remove that one completely, because it'll be so much more open looking without those 2 things blocking it. And in season it does look a heck of a lot better because my lavender is way bigger, so they don't kind of stick out quite as much. But anyway, I think either way, I'm gonna dig that one out. I'm gonna plant a couple new lavenders and just let it be lavender all the way to where the sidewalks meet. I have to be completely honest, I have no idea where I'm gonna move this plant to. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity over here, I suppose. I guess I should figure that out before I dig it out. You know what? It might be able to tuck over there on the other side of the arbor. It's still a great time to transplant stuff because, I mean, things are just now starting to wake up. So, I mean, I think we're early enough still. I mean, I transplant stuff all year round. I just make sure to get as big of a root ball as I can and keep it as saturated, as, you know, wet as possible for a while. Of course, this arborvitae isn't super water hungry. I'll have to make sure to keep the soil moist for a little while, and then I'll start tapering off probably after the really hot part of the summer. And then next year, I should be able to treat it normally. So I think all I need for this job is a shovel. Oops. Oh, what a rat's nest back here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, it's like a breath of fresh air, isn't it? I didn't realize how much that one little shrub was throwing it all off up here. Oh, love it. And I really like where it ended up as well. So I just tucked it in right there, right in front of our Colette rose that's on the arbor. And it's backed by white glitter eryngium and some, what kind of flower? It's another type of white flower. The name evades me, but anyway, there's a drift of white glitter right there that I started from seed last year, and then the other white flower right in here. I don't currently have anything planted right here. I think I had Super Tunia Latte there last year. There's a sage, an instant karma elderberry, and then white wands veronica, white echinacea. It was kind of the starting of our moon garden, which I'm going to add color to this year, but anyway, it's kind of a fun little evergreen interest right there. And that's max size. That's as big as it gets. So I know that it's never going to outgrow that space. And I will trim that up a tiny little bit right there. In fact, let's do that quick. Looks awesome. And we have a big job ahead of us this year. We've pulled up all the drip that was in here because we were having some major saturation issues. Like it was way too much up here. We couldn't figure out what was going on, and it would run down here, and so it was like pooling. Anyway, we decided that we wanted to run it like completely differently because I'm not going to plant it as thick with things to naturalize. So I think we may be running individual emitters to the plants that I end up putting in here. So anyway, we'll show you guys that when we do it, I'm sure. And I just popped my head in the ranunculus bed over here, just one of them, because the harvest material, or the frost cloth rather, got a little bit torn in the last windstorm. And I noticed we have a little bit of growth I wanted to show you. So if you take a look, you can start to see some green pop through. Oh, it's so exciting to me. There's a little bit of green on the far end there, but they've only been in the ground, just a few days, not that long. There's one right there. That makes me so excited. No action on the anemones yet. I've got my hose in there watering. But they weren't as far along in the pre-sprout process either. All right guys, so I actually have time for one more thing. I just wanted to get my delphiniums that I started from seed bumped up from their seed starting tray to 4-inch size containers. And now that I have a whole bunch of leftover containers from today's project, it's kind of perfect timing. And then I'll have an extra seed tray because I'm getting ready to start my next kind of batch of seeds. I've been keeping the door open on the nice days to keep the humidity levels in check. So check these out. They look awesome. There's 24 of them in here. What variety is this? Magic Fountains, I think. Yeah, Magic Fountains Delphinium. And it does say on the seed packet that after they're up and going, which they're clearly up and going, to bump them up and put them in a cooler place to grow on. So I think I'm gonna bump them up and then leave them in the cold frame. They should be just fine. And Benjamin has been in here, so look at this. I've got this wall full, and all of my light racks pretty much filled up over here. So Benjamin comes out here when I need to water, and he likes to move all of the sockets from there to back here. Back and forth. It keeps him occupied for a long time. It's awesome. So I want to take these out to the greenhouse, kind of minimize the mess in here. I just vacuumed. Yeah, that root system looks really nice. Oh, I love it. I need to go get something to help me get them out of the container, but they're popping out pretty easy so far. Oh my goodness. And these will flower this year. Whoa, look at that one. And there they are, all snug in their new home. So what I'll probably do is take my ornamental kale out of this little extra bubble that I put inside the cold frame, and I'll put them in here just for a few nights so they can acclimate a bit, because these are fully acclimated and it's not cold enough to really do any damage, probably to either one of them. Those are starting to look real pretty. Look at the color on those. So that concludes this afternoon's project. Super fun day, super beautiful out here. I'm loving it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.